this is Tanya Rowling. Welcome to Tanya Tina's Maths. In this channel, you can find me teaching CBSE Class 10 Maths, NCERT Syllabus, and my sister Tina Lofus would be teaching CBSE Class 8 Maths, NCERT Syllabus. Alright, now let's get into the video. Today we are going to be learning Exercise 1.3, third question, first subdivision. Now let's read the question. So the question is, prove that the following are irrationals. So the first subdivision is 1 by root 2. So this is the question. Now we should prove that 1 by root 2 is an irrational. Okay. First of all, for proving it, we usually write, let us assume 1 by root 2 is rational. Okay. Now let's write that. Okay guys, now we wrote, let us assume 1 by root 2 is rational. So if it is a rational number, then we should take p by q, where q is not equal to 0. So we wrote 1 by root 2 is equal to p by q, where q is not equal to 0, where p and q are co-primes. You guys might ask, what are co-primes? So starting off this exercise, that is exercise 1.3, first question, that is prove that root 5 is irrational. So in that question I had explained what is co-prime, okay, and that too I had uploaded a separate video about this co-primes. Do watch that video so that you guys can understand what are co-primes. Okay, after doing this, now let's solve it. Now we shall write this form, that is 1 by root 2 is equal to p by q. Let's write it. So now we wrote 1 by root 2 is equal to p by q. Okay. So after writing it, now we shall cross multiply it. Okay. So we are going to be cross multiplying 1 into q and root 2 into p. Okay. So as you guys know, root 2 into p means root 2p. Okay, now let's write that. So root 2p is equal to 1 into q means q. Okay, why? Because 1q is q. So now we got the form root 2p is equal to q. Now we are going to be squaring it. Now let's write squaring on both sides. Squaring on both sides. Now let's write the form, that is root 2p is equal to q. So we shall write root 2p is equal to q. So here we should square it. That means we shall write root 2p the whole square, and here it is q square. Okay, why? Because we should square it. So the square belongs to root 2 as well as p. Now what we are going to do is, so here we have root 2 p square. Okay, so this root 2 has a square and p also has its own square. So whole square means this 2 belongs to root 2 as well as p. So what we are going to do is, we are going to cancel square and this square for root 2. So this root means square, am I right? So we are going to cancel this and we are going to cancel here also. Okay, so now it is 2p square is equal to q square. I hope you understood. So let me just repeat it. What I did is, here we had root 2, am I right? So root means square. So whole square means this 2 belongs to root 2 as well as p. So I took the square for root 2. For example, we have a root 2 like this, root 2 and square. Okay, so now what I did is, I cancel the square and I cancel this square. That's all. Okay, but we have one more square for p. So it is 2p square is equal to q square. Okay, so this now the square belongs to p. Okay. So now we got 2p square is equal to q square. Now we shall write p square is equal to q square by 2. Why is it 2? Because here it was in the multiplication form. When it comes this side, that time it became division. Okay, as you guys know, if it is in the multiplication form, after crossing this is equal to symbol, it has to be in the division form. Okay, like that I wrote. So now it is p square is equal to q square by 2. Okay, now let's write here the 2 divides q square, and then we shall write 2 divides q. So you guys might ask, why did we write 2 divides q? Let me say that. So now we wrote 2 divides q square and 2 divides q. So now you guys might ask, why did we write 2 divides q? That's because in this question we are taking 1 by root square as root 2 as irrational number. Am I right? So let me show that. So here, as you guys can see, we took, let us assume 1 by root 2 as rational. So as we took rational number, they are always in the form p by q. That means here it is p and here it is q. We don't have a square or something. So for solving this question, no, we should have rational form, that is p by q. Okay, so that's why we wrote 2 divides q, because to get an answer. And after that, at the end we would write which is a contradiction. We are writing that contradiction just because we did it like this. Okay, let me just show that. So after solving this sum, I'll say that why did we write contradiction. Okay, so there is a reason why are we going to write which is a contradiction. So when it comes contradiction, no, that time you will understand why did we write contradiction and why did we take 2 divides q. Okay, now let's solve it, and after that when we go ahead we can just focus on that. Okay, so now what we shall do is we shall put q is equal to 2a, because it was in equation 1. So let me just show that. So here this is equation 1. Okay, so we are going to be taking this form, that is 2p square is equal to q square. Okay, we are going to be taking this. So here instead of q we are going to be writing 2a. Okay, now let's write the form. Now let's write 2p square is equal to q square. So 2p square is equal to, here in q place we are supposed to write 2a. So we shall write 2a the whole square, because here we have square. Okay, so now we are going to be solving it. That is 2p square is equal to, so this 2 belongs to 2 as well as a. So now what we are going to do is, so 2 square means it is 2 into 2. So 2 2s are, it is 4. So we shall write 4a square. So let me just repeat it. So the square belongs to 2 as well as a. That means it is 2 square and it is a square. So when we 2 square means 2 into 2. 2 into 2 means 4, and a square as it is. Okay, a square I wrote it as it is. Now we shall write p square is equal to 4a square divided by 2. So now you guys might ask, why did this, why it is in the division right over here, why it is in the form of division? That's because here it is in the multiplication form. So when it crosses this bridge, that is equal to, when it crosses this is equal to, then it becomes as division form. Okay, so that is the main thing in this. So please remember this. Why? Because this is very important in rational or irrational things. Okay, so if they are asking prove root 3 as irrational, you are supposed to do like this. Instead of wherever you get 2, no, you should write 3. So in that and all, this is very helpful. Okay, remember that if it is in the multiplication form right over here, when it comes to next side, that is this side, when it comes to the right side, then it becomes division form. Okay, so this is really important. Please learn this. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to cancel it. Okay, so as you guys know, 1 2 is 2 and here 2 2s are 4. So now we got p square is equal to 2a square. Okay, so now we got this. So p square is equal to 2a square. Now what we are going to do is, now we are going to get this to this side. So p square divided by 2 is equal to a square. Okay, so I brought this to this side. So here it is in the multiplication form. When it comes to this side, then it is in the division form. Okay, that's why it is p square by 2 is equal to a square. So you guys might ask that why did we do like this? Because we are supposed to prove it, right? That 2 divides q, 2 divides p. So here when it comes to this side only, we can prove that 2 is divided by p as well. Okay, p square as well. So now again what we are going to do is, so now we shall write a square is equal to p square by 2. So in the previous step, the a square was this side and this form was this side. Okay, so I just put it ulta. So I brought the a square this side and the p square by 2 this side. Okay, that's because it should be in the right side. Why? Because we should divide it, right? So now we shall write that 2 divides, so 2 divides p square. So of course it divides p square and 2 divides p. Why are we writing p? That's because we should prove that it is rational, and then after finding that rational, we can prove that it is irrational. Okay, that's why we are writing it in this form, because rational numbers are always in the form p by q. We can't change it. So permanently rational number is always in the form p by q. We can't write it p square by q square, then it is wrong. So in order to make it as a rational number, we just wrote p. Okay, don't get confused in this. Now we shall write p and q have 2 common factor. Okay, now let's write that. So now we wrote p and q have 2 common factor. Of course, they both have 2 common factor, then it is a contradiction. So which is a contradiction? Okay, so you guys might ask, what is a contradiction? So contradiction mean, first we took rational number. Okay, let me show that. If I show that only, you guys can understand. So here you guys can see in the question they gave irrational, but in the answer we took it as rational. So from irrational to we took it as rational. So we just took it like this just because to get an answer. Why? Because we have rational number as a form p by q. So irrational is somewhat different and rational numbers are different. So to get irrational, we should take rational number. Okay, so first actually we are supposed to take irrational. We took rational. That's because for getting a proper answer, we ought to take rational. Okay, because it is a contradiction. Okay, it's a conclusion to do that. Okay, don't forget that first we are taking the true statement is irrational, but we took it as a false statement. I mean rational. So after writing rational, we just took it as irrational. Let me show that. So here you guys can see 1 by root 2 is not rational. See, after that we wrote it like this, and then 1 by root 2 is irrational. Okay, so we wrote it just because we took rational at first. That's because to get a proper answer. So finally we got the proper answer, and then we wrote it is irrational. Okay, so in order to get irrational only, we took 2 divides p. Okay, that's because we took in this answer, we took let us assume 1 by root 2 was rational. We took that just because to get a proper answer. For that only I wrote 2 divides P, because P is a rational, sorry, P by Q is a rational number, okay.
I hope you guys had fun watching this video. Please like this video and help your friends by sharing this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any doubt, you can comment me in the comment section. Catch you in the next video. Take care.